get it all either.
Okay. And it should say that we're live. So up on the left corner, so it shows we're live.
Yes.
So it
Hello,
does.
everyone. We're actually
Hi.
going live a few minutes early. Carolyn is joining us from Australia.
Hello.
So we're at Jean's shop. Wave, Jean.
I'm Jean.
So you all know. Hopefully, everybody knows Nicola.
Hi.
And then this is Hannah.
Hello.
Jean.
We're hanging with Hannah.
We're hanging with Hannah. And then Jeannine from Acorns and Threads. Cheri, our seller.
Cheri, the
Our
stitch along
wonderful
leader.
stitch
Oh,
along leader.
thank you. You're
And
sweet.
I'm Cathe Ray. And the other person who's missing is Janice from Traditional Stitches. She had a prior commitment. She couldn't, she didn't want to get out of because she's in Calgary and she has a friend visiting from Australia. So we thought it was important she goes and sees the friend. So we'll catch her on a future live. But we wanted to get together because we were in the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
And Hannah finally returned from her little foray with
Yes.
Sarah off in the wilds of
Yay.
California.
Yeah. Very stressful.
Yeah.
It is when your children go running amok.
Yes.
Oh, I hadn't thought of it that way. It is kind of like children running amok. Yeah. Yeah. So today we thought we'd just kind of talk a bit about the model, have Nicola talk about the model and about the original sampler. And you can show off where you are at this point and all the pretty lovelies. And we have a couple of fun attic things to show
something
off.
very precious I want to share with everybody.
Yeah, but we just thought it would be nice to get together with us in the same room at the same time and enjoy the joys of stitching and talking about Hannah. So do you want to talk about, Nicola, about where did the model, how did you acquire the model and why?
The original. The original was
the original.
acquired at auction, and when I saw this sampler come up for auction, honestly, my heart stopped and my stomach just leapt with joy. This is an amazing sampler. It's a Bobby Dazzler of a sampler.
It is.
It's unique, and no matter where you look on this sampler, it delights the eye. The border is amazing. It was a pain to chart, but it is amazing. The lozenge cartouche at the top is, it's just wow. And there's just so many layers to that cartouche. I loved this band going across. Then the Algerian eyelet diamonds going across. The verse is it's a lovely verse. Then you've got this beautiful house and there's just everything. And the name Bali Paladi. I just love it. Just love the name Bali Paladi. It sounds so nice on the tongue. I think as well with Irish samplers, you can't always identify them as being Irish, but with that name, you know this sampler comes from Ireland. And of course, the other giveaway with this sampler is this font. You see this on Irish Quakers.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. But there is nothing to say that Hannah is a Quaker. It's just beautiful.
So maybe inspired by motifs from a Quaker sampler?
Or maybe a teacher, that is a Quaker, but she may have been a Quaker. We don't know. There's nothing to confirm that she is a Quaker. So I don't want to say this is a Quaker sampler because there's nothing to back that up. I must say that the model, the stitching on this model is exceptional, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It is absolutely exceptional. And the model was stitched by Melissa Coyle, who's from
Naperville, Illinois.
That's right. I always get confused with the states. And Melissa is an amazing needleworker. It's just a joy to work with Melissa, and she should be very, very proud of what she's created here. And all of you, when you finish your Hannahs, you should be very proud because this is just an amazing sampler for your sampler wall.
So what was she stitched on for the original? Like a 70-ish kind of thing?
When you say
The
it's
count.
County?
The count.
the count,
Yeah.
no, the original sample is much bigger than this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so tired. I can't
Yeah.
remember. Have I said
Our brains are
Our
full
brains are
from
gone.
a happy Bristol weekend.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yes, the original sampler was worked on linen that was approximately 28 count. And for those
Wow,
of you
so
who
much
followed
bigger.
my floss tubes, you would have seen the original sampler and the models side by side in my floss tubes.
And we'll put a link to that after the broadcast. I'll put a link to that particular YouTube
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, and I'm very, very pleased with the colour matches to the original. You know, when you think of all these different colours, it was just so wonderful that in the Avera Soir range, it gives us the capacity to match these colours.
Was it matched to the front or the back?
To the front, I've never taken it out of the frame. It's beautifully framed in what is an original frame, and I wouldn't want to change it at all. I think it's not very often that a sampler like this becomes available as a reproduction. You know, this is the original sampler is a valuable sampler. You know, we're lucky. We're lucky that an antique dealer didn't get their hands on it and then it just disappeared into a private collection, because I think I was just in the right place at the right time and managed to secure it. It cost me a lot of money, but we managed to secure it so that it could be reproduced.
Yeah, she really is stunning. When last October, when Nicola and I talked about whether or not to do another stitch along with our 5 shops, and she sent me, I think, 5 or 6 different really amazing samplers, and each one of them just really shined in its own light. But I came across it and just went, oh my gosh, she's the one. She's the one that we have to go with.
Well,
and the response has been amazing.
Both the red and the blue both grab you for entirely different reasons. You know, the red is that vibrancy, but you see the blue, particularly from a distance. So I noticed that I see different things on it sitting from here, seeing it, than when I'm holding it in front of me and I'm looking at, you know, the little tiny stitches, that it has a sort of different impact. Yeah.
Yeah. I acquired the sampler at the very, very beginning of COVID. In the first weeks of our lockdown, it arrived. And it was it took its time to become available, because Melissa, bless her, she had a very nasty fall and broke one wrist very badly. So she couldn't stitch for some time. And then she fell and broke her other wrist.
Oh no!
Yeah, you know, so it took a little time to be stitched. But these girls, they come when they're ready. And it was the right time for this stitch along.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she is truly special.
Yeah.
So do you want to show off your?
Yes. So we'll can I have the pattern from you?
Yes, of
Thank
course.
you. So I'll go over really quick for those that maybe weren't able to join us for the kickoff a little over a week ago. The way that the months are broken down, we broke it down for 15 months this time instead of 12, because she's so intense. We wanted each of the stitching assignments to be doable. And so it's roughly 78 stitches wide on a grid by about 58 stitches long. So that keeps her in sections that are easy. That also, ooh, I'm getting feedback all of a sudden. That also makes it so that if you're a top right or top left stitcher or bottom right or bottom left stitcher, that you can still keep up with all the months and still feel like you're following along, even if you start in a different spot. So that's the reason that laid it out that way. And then I have my stitching assignment done for this month, and I am stitching on the 56 count, and I'm using Bee's Knees by Seraphim. Let's see if I can bring it just a little bit closer. And thank you.
Does that work?
Yes,
Yes, that's
that's
it.
perfect. And
Beautiful.
so as you can see, it is not a very big stitching assignment. It did not take me real long, and there was some over one in that. Thank you, Nicola. And so that keeps them very doable. There is a lot of over one in this sampler. There's lots of little birds that are over one. And as we get to some of the different features, then as we'll do stitch alongs each month, and I'll give you some tips and tricks for doing some of the specialty stitches as we get to those points. And then here is, if you have not yet received your threads for some reason, because they're still on order, here are the threads. These are the Swasserfine, which is very, very close to what the 103s are. There was, I think, 3 threads, Jean,
I think so.
that we had to do close matches as opposed to direct color matches from 103 to the Swasserfine. So she is amazing. She is very doable in 15 months.
Yeah. The one thing that she is not doable for is Ada.
Right.
And at Hands Across the Sea Samplers, we really try to make all our samplers stitchable on Ada. We always try to give people options, but this sampler, it just can't work for Ada stitches. So I am really, really sorry about that. Also, a lot of people get a little bit put off about intense eyelets, which you have in this band. Change them to rice stitches or
Or Smyrna's, either one.
Smyrna. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I love stitching both. Well, I like stitching all 3 of them, but you've got options there as well.
And we'll go over, when we get to the eyelets, I will also go over a technique for doing continual eyelets. So you're not having to work to complete each one individually. It goes in a run and it is quicker.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get a nice zigzag.
Yeah.
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 I always stitch eyelets, in 2 journeys.
Yes.
Always. They
Your
sit
journey out.
so much nicer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we will go over how to do that when we get down to that point. We'll do it the month ahead so that when we get to that month, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that attracted me to this sampler was the use of the beads in the windows and just on that little flower. I just wish that we could have got beads that were tiny enough for it to work on 46 count, but we could not. I personally don't think those beads the right size.
I don't
for
think that
this.
are manufactured today. No, I think you'd have to luck into early 1900s to maybe 1930s. I have some in my personal stash that are super teeny tiny, but I think even they might not be small enough.
Because with Hannah originally stitching this on 28 count, she didn't have the problem of looking for really minute beads.
Right.
I tell you what somebody said to me about trying to find antique beads. You often go into thrift stores, charity stores, and you see Victorian evening bags
Oh, yes.
that are beaded,
That are maybe falling apart.
and you could take the beads off that. If you wanted sort of like an antique bead, if you were stitching on some of the lower counts, that's an idea.
Might be harder to
Good
find.
idea.
Yeah,
You'd find something.
Yeah.
you could find
Very
something
clever
if
though.
you wanted that, because the old beads, they do look and feel slightly different than sort of the mass-produced
Well,
beads
the
of
older
today.
ones tend to be more angular.
Yeah.
The edges of the beads are a little harder in that sense. They're
And they're
not.
not plastic.
Even seed
Right.
beads are not quite as rounded as contemporary seed beads are.
But they're glass beads, aren't they?
Yeah.
The older ones,
Yeah.
which is something which is
But they sparkle
nice
more.
option. They do.
I have some beads that I think I bought at that knitting at that bead store in Portland,
Oh, yeah.
like I don't know, 10 years ago, that are that color, but they're not quite small enough.
Yeah.
And I
Have
could
to
maybe
see
do
what
them on
count.
like 32 or 36, but they still I think are too small. I still think are too big for like
we don't have
36.
many industries in Cornwall, but within a 20-minute drive from my home is a big bead wholesalers, and I actually spoke to them, and they sent me the smallest beads they had in different shapes and sizes, but nothing would
Nothing
work. No.
Are you able to find anything really small in Australia for beads, Carolyn?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
No. No.
No. So do you have any tips for the accentuate for those working on the higher count linen?
Actually, the accentuate is fine enough that I have been able to work with it on 56 count, and it's not an
Okay.
issue. It is.
Yeah, I did
fine
have one
enough.
customer have a bit of an issue with the 46 apparently, so I just thought I'd ask.
What sort of issue, Carolyn?
She felt it was too bulky.
Really?
Maybe do it as a tent stitch then, and
Yeah.
do a tent stitch as opposed to a full cross. But I have done, even on 56 count with the accentuate, I've done full cross,
Yeah.
and it was fine. And I wonder if maybe she needed to change her needle to open those
yeah.
holes up a little bit and help that thread through the fabric a little bit.
Does she stitch in a hoop or does she stitch in hand?
In a frame of either a hoop or a Q-snap, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that
Yeah.
can definitely
Yeah.
make it a little easier to stretch the fabric of it.
Yeah.
Can help a
But
lot.
changing the needles a very good idea.
Mhm.
Yeah, just open those holes up so that can lay a little flatter as they cross over each other.
And you know, at the end of the day, if you don't want to use that thread, you can just use a silk thread.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I know for some of our international stitchers, they were having a hard time sourcing the accentuate.
Yeah.
And so I talked to several of them and said, just find a beautiful bright blue that reads well as a window and use it. It doesn't have to be absolutely exact.
Yeah. We took advice from Lamora Hayder of Access Commodities about options, and of course Lamora's knowledge of threads is just
staggering.
Yeah. And this is what she recommended, and we were very pleased how it worked on the 46 count.
Yeah.
It looks fabulous. So
Well, and it is a machine embroidery thread.
Yeah.
So it has a lot of tensile strength to it.
Yeah.
So that if you are doing it on a finer count, you're not going to break it.
Break it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So isn't it wonderful with a stitch along how we can exchange ideas and we can all learn from each other? I think if you ever have the opportunity of joining a stitch along that has such a wonderful stitch leader as Cheri, who puts so much in, you will get so much back out of it.
Well, and I always tell them, if you have questions that for some reason you feel aren't being answered, particularly on the Facebook feed itself, in the group itself, you can always personal message me, and I'm fine with that. And I've helped a lot of people through the previous stitch alongs, one-on-one also. Yeah. So
and that's just invaluable. It really, really is.
It's fun.
Cheri. Thank you.
Okay. The Hannah has been so popular. She's actually coming towards the end of her third print run. It's just amazing.
Wow.
It really, really is.
It's so
And
exciting.
all of you ladies, you have worked so hard to keep up with supplies. So you all deserve a round of applause for that.
Absolutely.
In the way the industry is at the moment, you know, you've literally got to fight to get your hands on those supplies for your customers, haven't you? And it's really all your years of experience and building up contacts that have enabled you to get all of this together. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
So,
Well, it is.
She's such a lovely piece.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she is.
yeah, absolutely. So,
So tell us about your little box there. We don't want to end with that because you're hugging it.
I know.
And I'd be hugging mine too if it was sitting right here.
When I say I really like something, I really, really do. I never show anything on my Floss Tube channel that I don't, you know, I don't say it for the sake of it. I'm not an influencer. What I share are things that I love. And when you go to a workshop at the attic, Jean always has a lovely surprise, something very precious for all the attendees. And we're all very excited, aren't we, what it's going to be? And this year, it was like, oh my God.
Yes.
They are these little, oh, I can't go that way. Can I go? Yeah,
Yeah, you can.
okay. They are these little boxes that you can store your SWA 103 or your souffle spools. The top opens so you can put them on these little spikes, and then it closes down, and it says the Attic Needleworks on, which makes it even more precious.
And it's got magnets on
Yeah,
the top.
little magnet on the top for your needle, and there's a little engraved needle on there. It's just so
I was
beautiful.
so excited
Yeah.
Oh,
about giving them.
I know.
When they arrived, I'd seen photos and drawings and plans from that. And when they arrived and I actually held it in my hand, I just could not wait.
when we walked into the event room on the Saturday morning, they were all out on this table, and you could feel the excitement in the room as people were walking in. And as soon as Jean said you could go up, it was like whoosh.
It was.
It was
It
like astounding.
Mass exodus to
Yeah.
the tables.
And this is just so precious. But Jean is going to have these available in the shop for you to get. And it's only $50. I can't believe that's all it is, Jean. This is just amazing. Something very special for your collection. You will love this, I promise you. So get in contact with the Attic and place your
Is
order.
the best way to do it to have them send you an email?
Yes.
Yes, an
Yeah.
email.
Yes.
And you can go on the list for the next batch that's being made. So
And which email address?
Samplers at atticneedlework.com.
So samplers at atticneedlework.com. I'll post that in the
Yeah.
comments.
so
Yeah.
It smells so good.
oh, I know. This is going not even in my carry-on suitcase. This is going in my handbag.
Well, the cool thing was, not only did we all get them as gifts at the retreat, but Jean had extras here at the shop, and they're all gone. I think you had 15 or so extras, and they all got
Yeah.
purchased and snatched up
Snapped up.
because they're really just beautiful.
It's always so precious to have anything that says the Attic Needleworks on. But this is extra precious.
It is.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think would be really fun, since I've got all of you here together for the stitch along, is email me or message me through our group message page. Let me know what specials are going on in your shops each month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then I will share those when we do our live videos each month.
Mm.
I think that would be fantastic. Our followers have loved supporting the 5 shops,
Yeah.
and they have followed us through. This is the 3rd stitch along.
And it's
Sponsored by
continued
these
to grow
shops.
and everything. And when shops sponsor things, they're really investing a lot in it, and we need to give something back to those store owners. We need to support them. So
Yes.
please do.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
Yeah. Carolyn, it's been very popular in Australia, this sampler.
Yeah. It's been
Do-
good.
Is there a lot of sort of people emigrated from Ireland into Australia? Do you have a lot of people with Irish roots?
I actually don't know.
It's just
They
been generally.
just really like the sampler, yeah. But I'm not sure about the Irish background
Okay.
here. Yeah.
Because a lot of people will be attracted because it's Ballypalazzi and it's an Irish sampler. But at the same time, you're going to be visually attracted to such a Bobby Dazzler of a sampler.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you can't go wrong. It
It's
has
got
red.
red in it.
It has.
And
It
the
has.
blues, because blue is a very beautiful colour.
That's a
and
beautiful shade of blue.
blue.
It is a
isn't it?
lovely shade.
Well, and surprisingly, it balances out the brightness of the
Yeah.
red.
It
They make a really great.
showcases.
They make a really great contrast to each other.
Yeah.
For me, it was the diamond,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
the diamond and the alphabet. Yeah.
The really fun thing that you don't hardly notice from a distance or in the picture until you get your kit is the number of reds that are used
Yes.
in this sampler. There's so many of them. There's what, 1, 2,
Why do you
3,
call those-
4. There's just a number of reds.
These
And,
two together.
Yes.
Oh. And then this orange.
Yes.
It makes everything pop. So beautiful. It's sort of like in England we have candy called tutti fruttis, and they're mouth-watering.
Okay.
These are tutti frutti colours.
I love that. I love that. Tutti frutti, mouth-watering colors.
Oh, what is the term? Titty fruity?
Not
Tutti
tutti
frutti.
frutti. It sounds like you've got an obsession with something. Tutti frutti.
I thought you said.
That's great.
A tutti frutti.
Tutti frutti.
Tutti frutti.
Do you have those in Australia, Caroline?
T-I frutti.
I think so, yeah.
They're from my
I love that.
childhood. But if something's tutti frutti, it's mouth watering. And you know
I
the
love
tutti
that.
frutti sweets are all these beautiful bright colours.
We'll have to send you
That's what
something.
we, so I guess we need a new Hannah Campbell dessert line.
Yeah.
There we go. The Hannah Campbell dessert line.
The Hannah Campbell Candy Company.
There we go. We'll just expand her. She had no idea what she was going to accomplish when she stitched this sampler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could
So,
we compare? Could we put the 56 next?
Oh,
to the
yeah.
46?
Yeah. Is this the same? Is this the same fabric?
No.
it's
No,
very
they're
similar.
close.
That's actually Bee's Knees 56 count by Seraphim.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit darker.
Yeah.
But just the size.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Wants to see them.
Listen, I'm really tired. It's
It's
sort of like,
okay.
what time is it? It's 2:00 in the morning for me.
Oops, flip it around. There you go. And
Mm.
Yeah, so drop it under the.
there we go, like
Oh
that.
yeah. Okay. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, that's a nice
Yeah.
size comparison.
Yeah. The colours in this border are just exquisite.
More this way.
Sorry,
There you go.
There you go.
just in the vine that runs around.
Mhm.
It is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you.
We chose this frame because, though it's not a rosewood frame, the shape mimics the frame that was on the original sampler. And it must have been a frame that Hannah or her parents chose. So we went for something that was as close as we could get in modern
Oh,
day.
okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, and you wouldn't want a frame that's detracting
No.
from all the intricacy of this particular
Mm.
sample.
Was it a wide frame like that too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it's rosewood. You know, it's more of a
Right.
high
Oh,
colour.
okay. It's got more of that sort
Yeah,
of
but
reddish.
it's that sort of shape of you're trying to create something that is an illusion of what the original was.
Right.
And I think you stock this frame in the store
Yes.
as well.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
that's exciting.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to, when there's this done, if somebody wants to order it, they can just say the same frame that Hannah's model was framed in. Oh,
There
lovely.
is such an amazing selection of mouldings in this store. I wish we could have these in the UK. People all weekend have been, they've been saving up their finished pieces to bring with them to leave with Sandy. And I was watching Sandy help somebody choose a frame, and she's got a fabulous eye for frames.
Yes, she
Oh,
does.
she's
Honestly.
She's a master.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, one of the person we had doing our framing for a long time, not that worked for us, but that was local, retired. So I've had people ask like where to get it framed. It's like, just send it. It's if you're not adverse to sending it,
Yeah.
send it to Sandy.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
she can either have a conversation with you about what frame, or if you trust her judgment, you will not be disappointed.
No.
I never pick out a frame for my pieces.
Right.
She does it.
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
just turn it in. And say,
I
Thank
would
you.
be very happy to leave something here and just leave it to her, and that's very unusual because I'm a control freak.
I am too.
Yeah, but she does have such a great eye for composition.
She
Which
does.
is really what
Yeah.
She's
Print is
amazing.
about.
Yeah.
She does.
So,
Any other fun tidbits about Hannah?
no.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we couldn't find more information about Hannah because the Irish records are so difficult to research, and
Okay.
especially if they're Catholic, those records, they're just not online.
Gotcha.
It's really, really hard. We found a Hugh Campbell from Ballypalladie in a tithe book, so we know the Campbells were in Ballypalladie, but that's all that we know, really.
So we'd have to go
Interesting.
there. So we should have volunteers to go to Ireland.
I'm feeling a trip coming on. Is that what I'm
She used to live in Dublin for a while.
Oh, okay.
Well, this is just. Oh no, it's above Belfast, not Dublin. Sorry, I was going to say this is close to Dublin, but that's another sampler that I'm researching at the moment.
So do they have the records locally and they're just not online, or is it just that the records
I
are so
honestly
sparse?
don't know. Like Ray's paternal and maternal line, you only have to go back 2 generations, and they were Irish. And I've always hit a brick wall with the Catholic Church. So I don't know whether those records are held by the parish churches in Ireland or whether the Catholic bishopric or diocese have them. I really, really don't know.
That's interesting.
Which is interesting because it's not that way in many other countries where Catholicism is a
Yeah.
very common faith.
Maybe something happened to the Catholic records and they haven't been available to
That's
put.
possible.
There could be a fire where they were held
Oh,
or
yeah.
something. So, but the Irish, they are very affable people, very sociable people. If somebody went to this area and sort of started talking to the locals, I bet they remember a family of Campbells, and somebody will know the history of that family. A lot of Irish history is spoken history rather than
Right.
written
True.
history.
True.
So you never know. Maybe this field trip.
I'm all over it.
We'll go.
A whole different meaning
There
to
we
hanging
go.
with Hannah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Hanging with Hannah at the Irish pub
Pub.
in
Oh, yes.
Ireland.
Drinking Guinness.
I have my Diet Coke.
You'd have to convert, at least a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't
It's okay, you can smell it. And
I'll
have
smell
in the
it.
glass.
I had
There
a
you
sip
go.
of Guinness once. It's not.
I'm not missing anything. Is that what you're
It puts
saying?
hairs on your chest.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything anybody wants to add, or anything that you have special going in your shops at the moment that you want to tell people about? We've talked about the attic's amazing little box, and anything with you, Jeannine? Any specials you have going at Acorns and Threads right now? Okay.
But in 2024, you will.
2024, I will have something very special.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So something to keep track of.
Something to go with Portland, the Rose City.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything with you in traditional?
I don't think Janice has anything going at the moment that I'm aware of, but
Okay.
I'll ask her and post it in a comment.
Okay.
But we're still deep in the weeds of shipping Sarah.
I know.
You dream about Sarah.
I do dream about Sarah. Yeah.
Is it
And
nightmares at this point, or just
unfortunately, they aren't nightmares. But yeah. It's like some days it's like, okay, so which box do we get to actually work through today?
Yeah. Carolyn, anything that you have going on in your shop that you'd like people to know about at this point?
Oh, well, there will be something special towards the end of the year. Yes.
Awesome. So something for us to keep track of and look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting. Okay.
Mhm.
And how long have you had the shop?
3 years, just over 3 years now.
Okay. Did you start it from scratch or did you buy it from somebody?
No, the shop's been around for originally about 40 years, in fact. Yeah.
Oh my
Wow,
gosh.
fantastic.
Yeah, different owners. The original owner of the store still comes in. She now teaches more needlepoint and things like that, but she's still local and still supports the shop really well, which is nice. Yeah.
Carolyn took over the store and COVID hit straight away.
You're
And-
right. That would be the right time.
But you know, it was a steep learning curve, wasn't it? And you've done a
It
fantastic
was.
job. You know, a stitch in time is growing, and you're reaching out. You have a wider and wider customer base all the time. So, all credit to you, Carolyn.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But
Hard
taking
work, but
and
love
having
it.
COVID a big
Yeah,
is
That
a big
That's a
undertaking.
big deal.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
A
So,
black hole of time.
and I know, you know, we have a lot of Australian customers, and they all speak very highly of the stitch in time.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Well, wonderful. I
I
think
think we might be
think
done.
we've kind of covered it. This
Yeah.
has been really fun. Really
It
fun.
has.
weekend,
And I think we'll
and-
try to do another. Well, so we'll try and do another one when you're here
In
in August, because we'll be back.
Yeah.
And then in between, we'll try to do one remotely with
Yeah.
Janice being able to join
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Which would
And
be nice.
do you know what might be quite fun is to have one where you're going to invite some stitchers from the group.
Oh,
to-
lovely idea.
think
I
that would be
love
really
that.
nice.
Good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
We'll
Well,
make
and
that
can talk
happen.
about
I love that
and can
idea.
talk about their progress. And
Absolutely.
we might need to rope Uma into that.
Yes.
Uma, if you're watching.
You've just been volunteered. Welcome.
Yeah. Well,
Run,
it would
run
be
now.
very nice if Melissa would come on.
Yes.
And
I would
talk about
love to
her
have
experience and
Melissa
her
on.
give you some tips of how to stitch it. So,
That would be amazing. Yes.
yeah.
That would be
All
excellent.
right.
Mhm.
Well, everybody, shall we say goodbye?
Thank you so much
Thanks.
for joining
Bye.
us. Yes. Be
Absolutely.
sure to check out the spool. What's it called?
Spool holder,
Oh, it's
Spool
spool
holder.
holder.
extra special.
The extra
Extra
special
special
spool
spool
holder.
holder.
June's extra special spool holder.
It's a long name. It doesn't fit on the tag.
Thank you for
All
joining
right,
us.
then.
We really appreciate it. And again, we appreciate your support of these 5 shops
Yeah.
and of supporting Hands Across the Sea with her amazing patterns. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right
Thank
then.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye, Carolyn.
Bye.